The Doug Ford government is, quote, sabotaging the community college system in the province.
We're seeing one of the largest mass layoffs in Ontario's history.
The future of public education is on the line.
Right now, the college system is in chaos.
In 2025, colleges had to make a lot of hard decisions. There's been over 650 programs canceled this year. There's been at least 10,000 workers laid off, which is the biggest layoff in Ontario's history. And there's been at least 6 campuses that either closed or announced their closure this year alone.
We daily are seeing notifications coming in of people that will be losing their jobs.
Like, we're seeing our coworkers being walked out the door all the time. People are afraid. There's a lot of stress right now. We're very worried about losing their jobs.
And that's just the first round. We have been told very clearly by our college leadership here that nothing is off the table and that we have not seen the end, that this is just the beginning.
We did not expect the sweeping cancellations and suspensions, particularly for programs that were full with wait lists, that were very popular programs and highly successful. That was unexpected. So many students and programs that were really important to a growing industry are no longer available here. That seems to me sad, that a community college can't actually serve its community is heartbreaking.
First of all, I'll say this unprecedented financial crisis is a manufactured crisis. We know that it is also a result of chronic underfunding. If we were to take it back, around about 2015, when the first tuition freeze was put in place, and then we introduced the Ford government coming into power in 2018, 2019. They not only kept that freeze in place, but then rolled back tuition with an additional 10%. So that leaves us currently delivering 2025 education at 2025 prices, receiving 2015 funding. By 2013-14, we had already seen a 30% decline in the provincial funding we were receiving. So if we look at the bigger picture across Canada, all other provinces sit in and around 60% of funding coming from the provincial governments. Ontario currently sits just under 25%. So that leaves a significant shortfall. That means that the colleges are on the hook to figure out where that funding is going to come from.
So we are less than half of the national average. That tells me that the priorities for post-secondary education in Ontario, well, it's not a priority, is what that tells me. At least match the average, and we wouldn't be in this position.
We've seen this coming. We have been lobbying for the provincial government to look at the funding model and to put more money into public colleges. In terms of funding, we are dead last in Canada.
Colleges then started to bring in more and more international students to start to try and cover the revenue losses that they were getting, first from the tuition freeze, but also then just from inflation as costs of things went up.
We had more international students at Ontario colleges than domestic students in the past.
We know that they pay several times more than a domestic student, and so it was a quick influx of cash. What has brought us to this moment, this crisis, is the college's over-reliance on that international money. And they were forced to do that to some extent by the province's chronic underfunding. We knew right from the start that that was not going to be a sustainable model.
I think the opportunities being lost for students are being able to follow their heart. I was the coordinator for both the graduate certificate in script writing and the first year pathway program in performing arts. Those programs were suspended. So technically, as of September 2nd, I no longer teach. Performing arts was a very unique program that really caught a lot of students that have no alternative, and there is nowhere else to go. There is no option. So that was really heartbreaking, and a lot of students, there were tears, a lot of tears and anger. It was hard.
My name is Isabella Schwartz. I'm 17 years old and I take film and media production at Algonquin College. I was supposed to take performing arts. How are you going to take away the program that so many students have been studying for and looking forward to in 2 seconds and not realize like the impact that it's going to have on them? I found out in February. It was gut-wrenching. I was really angry. It was anger, sadness, confusion. I didn't know what was going on, and I thought it was extremely unfair. I felt like I had to reconsider and rebuild my entire life. It felt like something that I had been looking forward to and working so hard for just got taken away in an instant. I felt like I'd struck gold when I was looking. I knew that I wanted to do acting. It was handed to me like on a silver platter, and then it just got taken from me. My dream to be an actress started when I was I think 11 or 12 when I did theater in elementary school, and it just sprouted from there. Film and media production was a last resort, given the fact that I am an actress, and it's just feels like I'm doing a lot of stuff for nothing and for something that I'm probably not going to pursue when I'm older. And it's just, again, it feels like this was my only option.
I love teaching, and to not be in the classroom for the first time in almost 30 years in September was really hard. It's heartbreaking. I miss my students. I miss learning as much from them as they learn from me. The Canadian voices that are being canceled by these program cancellations in script writing and performing arts and everything is really holding back our Canadian identity. They need post-secondary that's accessible to people financially and, just geographically. We need to keep these programs within our community.
My name is Samuel. I am 18 years old, and I'm a student at Algonquin College in the Film and Media Production program. Originally, I was supposed to study at the college La Cité, which is a French college in Ottawa. I was supposed to study in the television broadcasting and film production program. It was literally everything that I liked, and it was in my mother tongue. It was in French. I've always been passionate about film production and television broadcasting since I was in elementary school. In April, I received an email in my junk mail basically announcing me that the college decided to review its offer of programs, that my program was no longer being offered. There wasn't further explanations. It was just like that. A lot went through my mind when I've seen this news. It was what I was looking forward for so many years, and for me, I had to reconsider my study plans. I had to reconsider everything, to really think that it's no longer an option and I need to go somewhere else. It was just a lot of overthinking. We're investing a lot of money as students in our studies, and to see cuts like that and that we're being forced to find other plans, it's sad. Every cancellations of programs represent a loss that can't be replaced. I chose to study at Algonquin College. It's not entirely replacing what I was going to study with the other program at La Cité. The program I'm in right now is about 50% more expensive in terms of tuition compared to La Cité. And it's also further away from my house, so I had to find an apartment. So financially, it was a lot more money that I had to invest in my studies that I honestly did not expect.
When Ontario college system was created in the 60s, the mandate was to serve communities. It was to provide an alternative to university education. It was to create pathways to careers, to skills-based training that communities could rely on. It was meant to serve the workforce needs in the area. We have moved so far away from that you can't really recognize that mandate anymore.
The future of our economy relies on the knowledge of the youth of today. So cutting in post-secondary education has significant impact in the longer term. Don't cut where the value of the future is. The value of the future is our youth attending post-secondary school.
For business owners in the community, where are they going to get their talent from? So if you cannot staff your shop, how do you keep your shop open?
Looking for a new job after there have been 10,000 layoffs in the sector, not to mention our public service, so there are tens of thousands of people competing for the jobs that are out there. It's very competitive right now looking for new work, so I'm very stressed about that.
We remain coming to work every day fully engaged, knowing that we're going to lose our jobs. And it is absolutely heartbreaking to have to sit with my colleagues that I have been, some of them working with for 20 years, and sit with them as they receive their notice. having dedicated their life to public education. It is demoralizing to continue to come to work every day and fight so hard for quality education when those that should be fighting for me are simply choosing not to. When we have college presidents, the College Employer Council working with the Ford government, entering into these private partnerships, moving away from the mandate that was put in place and moving more towards a for-profit model. It is becoming clearer and clearer that the Ford government's agenda is to privatize.
Right now, the provincial government is channeling a lot of funding into the Skills Development Fund, and so like over $2.5 billion. It's a lot. It's more than enough to save the college system, essentially. So right now that money's going into private education that doesn't seem to have a lot of requirements around being successful.
So they are diverting public money that is meant for Ontario public colleges, and they have diverted it into these for-profit schemes.
I think that if we could divert even some of the money from the Skills Development Fund back into community colleges, then I think that that would be enough to save. There's enough money there to save the colleges.
I'm sure that those employers that are receiving part of the $2.5 billion would say, yes, it is addressing their need. They need some money and they're getting it. Does it address the needs of the employees? It may at first blush look like you're getting a job out of it, but what you're getting is you are being trained to do this particular job. It does not provide those employees with the credentials they need to move away from this employer and into another area or employer. It's for a very small number of people, and it really keeps those people stuck in this particular job, in this particular company, rather than providing true skills-based quality education that actually lifts up our communities, right, and creates pathways to building successful lives. We clearly see with the Auditor General's report that came out recently that the people receiving those funds, the private corporations that received that money, they were not the top applicants. We know that 54% of those that received money were not selected by the committee. They actually received a poor to fair rating. And many applications that came through that received very high scoring were declined. We elect our politicians in the hopes that they will speak for the people and do what is in the best interest. I believe that they will continue to gut the college system until it is non-existent or until it is privatized enough that it is realizing a profit and being run as a corporation. We need to find our way back to our original mandate, which was to provide quality, accessible education to Ontarians.
There has to be more funding. There's going to have to be a better model put together for the success of post-secondary and for our future generations.
If we all work together, we might be able to save colleges.
Training the workers of tomorrow is the only way we're going to sustain a healthy society. This is our future, not just of our province, but of our country, of our world.
If we go back to the Auditor General's report, we see that the way they have acted, it hasn't been fair, equitable, accessible, transparent. I think the whole process has lacked integrity, and I think that the first step would be to remove those people who are acting in such a way and begin to rebuild.
They're giving hundreds of millions of dollars to their friends and PC party donors. It smells like corruption.
Creating slush funds for your buddies is not in the best interest of Ontario, not Ontario now, nor Ontario's future. We know that the money is within the public system. We just need the political will now to do what is right. Do I think that the college system in Ontario, as we enjoy it, is going to collapse? I believe it is. I believe that we are witnessing the dismantling of our public Ontario colleges.